Hi, my name is Catherine Weldon, and I'll be performing a design review of the new technology FiberTrace. What is FiberTrace? FiberTrace was founded in 2018 by leaders in the textile industry. Their mission is to ensure every member of the supply chain has the ability to take direct accountability to reduce the environmental impact of the global industry. Through transparency, brands and suppliers will be empowered to make better decisions for the environment and its people. FiberTrace launched their first pilot program with the brand Nobody Denim. And this diagram helps to show at what stage the fibers and its contents are scanned. So FiberTrace developed this technology to scan the fiber and the garment when it's completed to verify the textiles used to make the product. So this starts at the raw material stage at the farm. So a FiberTrace embeds a scannable luminescent pigment into the fabric, and then the handheld scanner is used to read that pigment, and each of those pigments has their own recipe that correspond to different manufacturers and customers. So you can find out how your clothing was made, where it was made, who made it, and the contents of the fiber. So by scanning at every stage, it helps to verify the quality of your goods. Why transparency? Transparent supply chains are vital to ensure commitments to ethical business. Data usually is self-reported, unverified, and limited. Brands struggle to create a consistent and reliable way to measure and trace their supply chain. Right now in the US, the fashion industry is not very regulated, so it's hard to trust brands, but it's also hard for brands to trace their fibers and their products to the supply chain when so much is done overseas. So on the right side, you'll see this diagram that I took from the Sustainability Index from 2021. The Business of Fashion compiled this report with the 15 largest retail brands and gave them scores based on different sustainable categories. For the transparency score, the overall score was 48 out of 100, so not very strong. I performed a QFD of FiberTrace. So the requirements that I stated were that it be traceable, accessible, quick results, low emissions, circular design, accuracy, low chemical impact, a long lifespan, compatible with most materials, and inexpensive. The number one relative importance was that it be accurate. So when you're scanning your fiber at the different stages in the supply chain, and even at the end when the product is in store, you will know that the information you're reading is accurate. And then the second highest relative importance was that it's compatible with most materials. So currently, FiberTrace is compatible with cotton, responsible viscose, and recycled poly. Trials for wool and leather are expected to be completed in 2021. So as this technology continues to improve, hopefully its usage can be expanded to other categories as well. Who started FiberTrace? So these are the three co-founders, Danielle and David Statham and Sanjeev Ball. Danielle and David have a cotton farm in Australia, and they realized that they needed a way to verify when sending their cotton overseas that its quality would remain the same. So Danielle saw a need for creating a traceable technology that would help farmers, manufacturers, and brands to share and communicate their processes. Experiments with manufacturers and consumers were done to help understand the consumer motivation and the supply chain. A prototype app was built to help bring their concept to life, and it was used to pitch to investors and brands. So you can see from this diagram on here that you can find out your CO2 emissions, your water usage, and the contents of your fiber. So just by scanning your fiber, you'll know and be able to trace back the story. So Fiber Trace helps to enhance sustainable design by reducing impact through traceability, consumer education, streamlining data, reducing the use of toxic materials, and partnering with sustainable and ethical manufacturers. So there are kind of two parts to Fiber Trace when you have to think about manufacturing this technology. There's the luminescent pigment that is embedded into the fibers. And then there's also the handheld scanner that reads the pigment when it's scanned on the fiber. So the handheld scanner is designed to be ergonomic friendly, and it's small, handheld, lightweight, making it easy to carry and use. There was a prototype done, as I mentioned previously, and company trials, and then a launch with Nobody Denim, and then a global launch with Reformation. So they took their steps to really hit the global launch and make sure that everything ran smoothly. In terms of cost, the cost of the technology depends on what fiber is being traced. For cotton, the impact on a t-shirt is minimal at 3 cents per t-shirt. The Fiber Trace founder has stated that the brands that she works with are rewarded in sales for switching to transparent technology, and that consumers really are willing to spend extra money for a product they can trust. This example on the left shows one of their collaborations with Reformation, which is a retail brand based in the United States. The top pair uses Reformation or uses Fiber Trace technology, and the bottom pair does not, but both are comparable styles and they're listed for the same price. So you can see that really it did not affect the overall cost for the consumer here. So for potential human health impact, by improving transparency and traceability, it will improve the workers' rights. If more brands choose to use this technology, they'll be forced to monitor living wages and the safety conditions of their garment workers, as well as monitoring and measuring the chemical impact of hazardous chemicals and even microfiber pollution, both of which is harmful to human health. Emissions is another large problem within the fashion industry, and greenhouse gas emissions range from 4 to 10% of the global total. So by measuring our greenhouse gas emissions, we have a great starting point to know what we need to get to. The overall design review score for Fiber Trace was 2.4, which is overall a good score. Something that I would like to see Fiber Trace improve upon themselves is sharing more information about the scanner itself, where that is produced and what it's made of. I have not been able to find, and I think that if you're preaching or kind of pushing for sustainability and transparency, that we also want to know that your materials to develop this technology are traceable as well. So I hope that over time that's something that'll grow. But overall, I'm excited to see this technology be used to help create a more transparent apparel industry. Thank you, and I hope that you learn more reading my report.